What's going on, guys? Bacon here, and today what I want to do is I want to talk about my first day, my first experience, my first impressions about the NHL 18 beta. I want to try to focus on the gameplay mostly. There's a couple things I'm not really loving, a couple changes from last year I'm definitely not enjoying, definitely don't like the, maybe I'll get used to them, but I'm just not really loving the changes. And anyways, in the background, this is my first ever game of online versus. This is against Don't Be Sod 20. We're both terrible. You're going to see some brutally timed special dekes, some through the legs that make no sense at all. It's our first ever game. So anyway, go easy. I wanted to post this just to see how much better I could get. Pretty weak to start. But anyway, that's what it is. That's what you're watching. I'm going to refer to the video a couple times for a few examples. But what I want to talk about with the gameplay is, first of all, online versus is so slow. I mean, even if I went back to NHL 17, though, I would still say it's slow. Anthony Mantha not looking slow right there, though. Nice talk. Beautiful. Beautiful. But the online versus is just way too slow. Arcade mode is rocket speed. It's super fast. I'm really hoping the Hockey Ultimate Team finds a middle ground, maybe a high middle ground, maybe on the high end, a little bit quicker than the middle. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm hoping Hockey Ultimate Team finds a balance. Maybe the synergies will be the balance, whatever it is, right? Hopefully synergies are back. I really like that. That was a lot better than chemistry. It needs something. It gave a reason to change up the teams. Don't get me started on Hockey Ultimate Team. Let's talk about the NHL 18 beta. My biggest gripe, I want to start off with the negative. You know what? No. Let's start with the positive. Look, just having a new game period is great. A couple of the new things. I like the defensive skill stick. A lot of people have said it didn't do much. And you know what? They're probably right. You're probably further ahead just a poke check. But there are a couple times where I would take the defensive skill stick and take the guy out to the boards, not like a Cromwell like that, stepping up on him. Check it out, Cromwell. Whenever I see his name. If I'm ever Detroit against you, go down Cromwell's side, you know I'm jumping up. I have to. As soon as I see his name, I'm going for it. His name's a verb. Obviously, I'm going to go for it, right? Anyway. So the defensive skill stick, I like to angle guys off, holding the stick out. I think it's a lot better while I'm skating. So I think it's actually going to be useful. I'm not sure if it's going to be quite as useful as I thought while standing in the middle. It doesn't seem to block passes quite as good as I thought it would. And you know what? I actually think that's probably a good thing. I thought it would have been OP if I'm sitting there swinging my stick around in the middle, playing the skill zone. I thought I could just block all the passes. And you know what? I didn't really find that. Not so far anyway. It's early to tell. I probably played 5 or 6 games of each game mode. And it just didn't seem that way, and I'm actually happy with that. So far, so good. Doesn't seem OP, but it's there. It's there when at the appropriate times, right? If you're angling a guy out, you should try using it. I actually think it works decent. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see when people get good with it, and we'll see how they pull it off, right? So I actually have an example in here of Sod taking a tripping penalty, which I mentioned in another video, but I want to get to my biggest gripe with it. Hang on, before I forget, is there the connection? Can you see the connection before the game? Can you see it or not? I forgot to check at the start of this video. Can you see it before the game? I know you can see it at the end, but I don't ever remember seeing it at the start of the game. Not only that, I don't think you can see the other player's gamer tag. I don't know if I like that or not. I really don't. Anyways, we'll get to that later. So it needs to be in there. EA, you got to have the connection in there. That was the best thing of NHL 17. I never had a laggy game. I would actually get comments about it. You never got a laggy game. Because if it flickered fair, I would just back out. All my games were great. It was fantastic. I don't want to play a laggy game ever. I never want to play that. Anyways, let me get to my biggest gripe. And it's a couple of the button changes. I don't know why they had to change a couple of the button changes. I said it on Twitter. I kind of feel like I'm playing Mortal Kombat out here, throwing these button combos down just to do a simple deke, right? Like, why? Like, 2 buttons combo is great. When I have to start stringing together 3 buttons combo with a rotation or whatever it is, it just, to me, it seems like too much. It seems like too much. I played every game EA has ever released from NHL, and it just seems like a lot. And you could say, well, that's the skill gap. Well, I'm not sure if it is. Like, do you want the skill gap to be, okay, can you string together this button combination? Like, is that what you want the skill gap to be? Or do you want it to be like hockey mindset, cycling down low? Like, it doesn't take any skill to push the button to cycle it down low, but it takes like a hockey play to do so. You know what I mean? Break into the zone, drop pass. That doesn't take a lot of skill to push the button, but it could be a great play, right? Throw it back to the slot, let a bomb go. See, that's where I think the skill gap should be. Sure, there's got to be some things in there, like you could pull a spinorama at the right time, this and that. Like, but if I want to go through the legs deke, that should be a pretty basic deke. We've had it for past years. It should be a pretty basic deke. And if I knew they were going to try to take it away, make it more complex, make it harder to do the last dekes, I would have been against bringing in new dekes. I was all for bringing in new dekes, but not at the expense of the old ones. By the way, this is my favorite shift. Watch Shahan. He can't tuck it. This game's so realistic. Shahan can't even tuck it. He has 3 or 4 different chances walking around here. Walking around. Watch this. Okay, here he goes. I'll get back to my point. I will. Watch it. Here we go. Letting her rip. Lets a bomb go. Boom. Shahan's on the doorstep. Can't bury it. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to get another chance here. Throws her on net. Over to Shahan. Nope. Oh, all right, watch this. Going to pass it on the net. Nope. I got another shot. Nope. Oh my gosh. He can't bury it. Shahan can't bury it. It's just like real life. They nailed it. You nailed it, EA. Super realistic game. And don't get me wrong with my complaints here. I'm actually enjoying the beta. It's nice to have a fresh start, a clean slate. The game feels way different. I don't understand how people can possibly say it's exactly like NHL 17. Yeah, it looks like NHL 17. I don't know about these views, by the way. When I watch the replay, I actually want to see the replay. I don't want to look through the glass. Like, I want to see the replay, right? Anyway, I don't know about those camera views they got pulling off there. I'm not sure I'm a big fan, but that's a minor gripe. Anyways, let's get back to the point. I'm not a massive fan of the button combinations to pull off these dekes. I'm just not. I don't really like pushing in R3. I wish I could sub out another button for the R3 push in. I don't know why. It just doesn't work with me quite as smooth as any other button. Like if I gotta hold L1, that's no problem. If I gotta hold L2, that's no problem. But pushing in R3 and then rotating in this, it just doesn't, I'm just not as good at it, I guess. Maybe I'll get used to it. I don't know, but I just don't think stringing 3 button combinations together as opposed to the 2 that we had last year for a simple deke like through the legs that was a massive tool. I used it all the time and I thought I would have got over it after a couple games. I thought I would have got used to it, but that one in particular, I don't love. Other people are saying the puck chop. Now apparently it's R3 as well. So I don't know, I never really used the puck chop, so that one didn't bug me too much. But the through the legs deke, I'm not really liking it. I think it's probably the worst switch that they made from 17 to 18. I know some of the guys said it's one of the more effective dekes. It should be a little bit harder to pull off. I don't really agree with that. I just don't like it. I don't like how it's more difficult just on the button combination. I think it should be more focused on playing hockey out there rather than can you do the Mortal Kombat combinations, right? Like making hockey plays, making it simple, keeping it simple to pull off the plays, but putting the plays in the game. That's where I think the skill gap should be. Anyway, let me know your opinion on the NHL 18 beta. Once again, I'm still having fun. Just a couple things that I would have switched. Hopefully you guys like this video. We'll see you guys soon. Hey, and maybe I'll get used to it. Who knows?